नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. Hare Krishna everyone. So in the last few episodes of Grow Through Gita, we have been elaborately discussing about what is karma and what is akarma. Krishna said even intelligent people are quite bewildered in understanding the distinction between these two. And what is the benefit of knowing what is karma and what is akarma? That one will get liberated from one's sinful reactions. So now moving forward, the same line of thought is going to continue in shloka number 17 of chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and let us see what that is. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. So Krishna is saying bodhavyam. Bodhavyam means that which is supposed to be understood. So what should one understand? Krishna is saying one must understand three different things. Karmano, that is karma, which means sukarma. Then he is saying bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. So sukarma, vikarma, and what's the third one? Akarmanascha bodhavyam. So now somebody may ask, why should I know all these things? Well, these are some of the important principles, how this material world functions. And in fact, it is this karma, vikarma, akarma, knowing these principles, we will know the root cause of our bondage to this material world, and also we will know what is the exit route, how to get out of this material world. So it's very important, because based on the kind of action that you are performing, whether it is sukarma, vikarma or akarma, the similar results, different results will come to us. So there is no room for confusion. Why do good things happen to bad people? Why do bad things happen to good people? Because the law of karma is very intricate. And importantly, Krishna is saying in the fourth line, Gahana karmano gatihi. Don't think this is easy to understand. Gahana, it is very, very intricate and it is extremely complex. For example, let us see the case of an individual who is rich. Okay. So now, what makes a person rich? We may say maybe he is highly educated. Usually we tend to associate the higher level of education that somebody has. We think it's directly proportional to their income earning ability. But is that the absolute necessity though? Lot of times we see that, many people are not so educated and they are super rich. And some people who are highly educated are not necessarily rich. So education is not necessarily the absolute necessity. Not everybody who is highly educated is highly earning. Now we may say maybe that person is very hardworking. Now is that also an absolute necessity for somebody to become rich? Not really. In some people's case, we see that they are not really that hardworking, they are not very diligent about what they do. But still, somehow things fall in place for them. This is in no way to say that, somebody should not get educated or somebody should not be hardworking. The point that I'm trying to make is, simply because somebody is educated, simply because somebody is hardworking doesn't necessarily guarantee somebody's wealth making ability. So like this, you can go parameter after parameter after parameter, but if you have a good understanding of karma, the scriptures indicate that wealth is actually a result of somebody who has performed charity in the past. And that could be in the past of this life, it could also be past in the sense past lives. So when somebody has been very charitably oriented, that person is getting sufficient wealth as a result of that charitable action. Charitable action as a resulting, as a reaction, he is getting a lot of wealth. So if you see, there are so many parameters here. Now charity itself, Krishna says, there is charity in the mode of goodness, there is charity in the mode of passion, there is charity in the mode of ignorance. I'll not get into these details because this will come in a later chapter. When we get to that point, we will discuss in detail. And now also, to make it even more complex, it's simply not charity, the physical act of giving money to somebody or something like that. It is also the mental action, not just the physical action. It's the mood with which you're doing. It's the intention with which you're doing. These will also contribute how much you will get, how much you will not get, the result. Like there's a difference between somebody putting 100 rupees in the begging bowl with compassion in their heart and with empathy, versus somebody like, here, take it, 100 rupees. He did give 100 rupees, but the mood, he was very irritable, annoyed, frustrated. So in fact, many a times the intention becomes even more prominent than the actual action itself. So many things, that come into the play, and that is why Krishna is telling Gahana Karmano Gatihi. It's not very simple and straightforward. It is very complex to understand. So let's come back in the next episode and we'll talk a little bit more about this very same shloka and help broaden our understanding. But until then, contemplate on these things. Take care. Hare Krishna.